Hello, so we have this Jamb question to be solved on resistivity. Jamb 2003. Let's read the question and then we'll solve as usual. Um, a wire of 5 ohms resistance is drawn out so that its new length is 2 times the original length. If the resistivity of the wire remains the same, and the cross-sectional area is halved, the new resistance is A 40 ohms, B 20 ohms, C 10 ohms, D 5 ohms. Jamb 2003. Okay, let's bring out the parameters from the question. So if you have a problem that has to do with comparing two things together, I would advise you do it in tabular form. I would advise you do it in a tabular form. Okay, now let's see how to solve this kind of problem. So doing it in a tabular form, a wire of 5 ohms resistance is drawn out so that its new length, okay, its new length is 2 times the original. They didn't complete this sentence for resistance. They didn't tell us anything yet about the other resistance. So let's start with the length that has the both information. So let's call this one original. Then this one new length or fake. No, it can't be fake. New length. So we have that it is drawn out so that its new length is 2 times the original length. So let's say this length, the original length, is L. Okay, if the original length is L and the new length is 2 times this one, so it means that this one, its L is going to be what? 2L, because it is 2 times the original length, and the original length, we are saying let it be L. Okay, let's continue reading. If the resistivity of the wire remains the same, if the resistivity of the wire remains the same, so it means that the resistivity of the original is also the same, okay, as that of the new one. So we have, let's call this one P1 is equal to, let's call this L1. This is what? L2. Original for L, new length for L2. So let's say row 1 is equal to row. Of course, if it's the same, if this one is row, simply row, then it means that P2 also will be what? Simply row, because they are the same. Okay, so I can't name this one 1 and this 2. I'm expecting it to be the same. They are the same, so it will be row, row, without a subscript. Let's continue reading. And the cross-sectional area is halved. Okay, if the resistivity is the same and the cross-sectional area is halved, so it means, you know, the symbol for representing cross-sectional area is A. So if A is equal to A for the original, and they say it is halved when it became, the new length is halved, so it means, I mean, this is A1, it means A2 will be what? A over 2, because it is halved. Okay, the new resistance is, okay, now this sentence is now completed. For the beginning, it's completed now. Okay, a wire of a wire of 5 ohms resistance is drawn out. Okay, so we are looking for the new resistance. Now the information is complete. So we have R1 to be what? 5 ohms, and then R2 is what we are looking for. Is that okay? Now, what is the formula for resistivity? Of course, this is a question on resistivity. The only way we can solve this problem is to bring out the formula for what? Resistivity. So we know that resistivity is what? RA over L. Okay? RA over what? Over L. Okay? So now, if this is for what? For original length, let's call this one, let's call this 2. Is that okay? This one is going to be what? 1 1 1 2 2 2. Okay, do you understand what we're doing now? But take note, here at this junction it says that the resistivity is the same. It means that P1 is equal to what? Root 2. So if this is equal, it means we can equate those two equations. We equate them. Okay, it will now be the formula that we'll be using to solve this problem. So if we equate it, it becomes sorry, I might wipe the question. I might wipe the beginning part of the question. Sorry. So we can continue solving. I will not wipe the option, just the question. So if we have this, we can equate this and this. It becomes what? R1 A1 all over what? L1 is equal to what? R2 A2 all over what? L2. Can you see this? This is what we'll be working with. This is what we are going to be working with. Okay, now what do? We are going to be what? Cross multiplying, because we are looking for R2. We'll try and make R2 the subject of the formula. So bringing this up, we have R1 A1 all over L1 is equal to R2 A2 all over what? L2. So if we cross multiply, this times this will give us what? To give us what? L2 R1 A1 is equal to this will go with this L1 R2 A2. Can you see this? We want to make R2 the subject of the formula, R2. So it means we divide both sides by the coefficient of R2, which is L1 A2. So we divide this by L1 A2. We divide this side by what? L1 A2, right? This we cancel this, and then we'll have what? R2 is equal to what? It will be, this will be left, is equal to what? L2 R1 A1 all over L1 A2. Can you say this? Okay, I want to substitute before I wipe this information, and then we'll continue solving. So let's quickly substitute. What is our L2? So we have R2 is equal to, our L2 is what? 2L. L2 is 2L times R1. Where is R1? R1 is what? 5. A1, what is A1? A1 is what? A. All over. What is L1? L1 is what? L. Then we have A2. What is A2? A2 is what? A is what? A over 2. Can you see this? So I can wipe this information now. We are through with bringing out using the parameters, so I can wipe this. So let me bring it out here. So we have R2 is equal to what? 2L times 5 times A all over L. Okay, let me just multiply this out, right? Let me multiply this. This is simply LA all over 2. Okay? So we have R2 is equal to 2L times 5 times A. Okay, let me just simplify, right? 2 times 5 will give us 10. We have 10 LA, right? Is that correct? Divided by LA all over 2. This is the same thing as we have R2 is equal to what? 10 LA divided by what? LA all over 2. Okay, are you following? R2 is equal to 10 LA times, and you change this to multiplication. It's a rule in mathematics. You swap the other side of it. So it will now be what? This one will, the denominator will become numerator. The numerator will become denominator. So we have 2 all over what? LA. Is that okay? So L we cancel L, A we cancel A, and then we'll be left with what? We'll be left with what? R2 is equal to what? 10 times 2. Okay? And 10 times 2 is equal to what? 20. What is the unit of resistance? Resistance is measured in what? Ohms. And this is the answer. So let's check out if we'll get our answer in the options. 40 ohms, no. 20 ohms, that's correct. So the correct option is what? Option B. Yes, I'm still Bukola Joseph, the physics enthusiast. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast.